guys, let's look at Looking Forward by Crosby, Stills and Nash. This is the intro tune which comes again in the instrumentals. So I hope you like it. This is how I would fingerpick it. Okay, so before we get into it, let's talk about the right hand. So the right hand is going to be Pima fingers. I'm going to bring this up so you can see exactly what happens. So I'm going to plant with my little finger. That helps me find where I'm going. It's my anchor, if you like. And the idea is that you don't have to keep looking at your right hand. You can trust where the strings are because you can feel where they are. So your thumb is going to take care of E, A, and D. Your index is on the G string, your middle finger is on the B, and then your ring is taking care of the E. To begin with, this all feels very foreign, by the way. It takes a bit of practice to get into it. A nice short tab like this should help. Alright, so we're going to start with our ring finger over here on 3rd fret on our E string. We're going to try and leave that down because then it will ring and it will sound really nice. Whereas if we didn't and we did the whole bar, we'd get... It just sounds stoppy-starty, staccato. You know, you don't want that. You want it to ring on and sound pretty. So try and leave your ring finger down on 3rd fret, okay? So, starting with the thumb, ring finger, 3rd fret, E string, come over to your G string, and then jump the thumb to the D string, and then we're back to our G, we're putting our middle finger down to get that A, that 2nd fret on the G, back to the 3 on the E, and then middle finger over there on the B. You don't have to leave this one down. Some people might find if they leave the 2 down, perhaps their finger is bigger, the back of it might catch the B string, so you might find it easier to just lift it off. Also, I realise that's a little bit of an awkward position anyway, so just lift it off, just let it be there briefly, lift it off, play that B string, and then that thumb comes back to the D string at the end of the bar. So that was a lot of information, so let's do it again. So E string, G string, D string, put your finger down on the G, back to that E string, B string, and then we're back to the D. Let's do it a couple times. Rhythm-wise, let's just remind you, these are largely quavers, the things that look like that, quavers or 8th notes. Coffee, if you like, coffee. So most of this is equal, so you'd go coffee, 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 tea. I'll do it again, because I can see my hand is disappearing out of shot. Coffee, 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 tea. And then we're going to go into our next bar. So we're going into an A minor in this one, but can you see you've got an open B string at one point? So we can start with an A2 shape and then get our index down in a minute. So hover, stay nearby. And again, it's a similar pattern, it's just that your thumb has moved up. So it's not starting on the E string now, it's starting on the A string because we're on an A minor chord. So A string, and because the chord's down, you don't have to think too much about, oh, it's 2nd fret, and then it's 1st. You can literally just think, okay, so now it's a G string, then it's a D string, then it's a B string. That's why I do recommend, if it's easier for the piece, pop the chords down. It's not always the case, and it's not always the case all the way through the piece, but it's a top tip of mine. Sometimes chords are incredibly helpful, and they are in this bar. So just remember, hover your index, pop it down by the end of the bar, and we've got A string, G string, D string, B string, A string, and then we're popping that one down, and then we're back to our D string. So the only thing we have to remember in this one is to get the 1 down. Again, coffee, 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 tea. Coffee, 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 tea. Alright, and then moving on, you can see we've got a G, but we've also got an awkward 2 over here, so almost like a G major 7. Now to get that a little bit easier, rather than having to do some acrobatics like this, I thought you might prefer to do this way with your ring finger. So ring finger is over there on the B string, we've got our middle finger up here, 3 on the E, and then our ring finger can move to the E string, and then we can kind of, can you see there's a little bit of a rocking action to get that 2 on the thin E string behind it. So we're going to pluck these together because they're stacked. So 3s together, G string, D string, move the ring finger down 1, and then come back to the index behind it. So it's a bit like Jessica. One more time. And one more note, can you see again, I've left down my 3 on my E string. I want it to keep ringing. So the top line of this, let's go from the beginning. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hopefully you can hear the tune now, because I know what it's like when you zone in on something and it doesn't sound like it anymore. It's worth me reminding you guys, of course you can rewind this back, you can do it as many times as you like, and you can also slow this video down. You click the cog playback settings, around 75 is a good speed. Alright, let's get into the C chord. So our next line begins with a C. We can leave all of this down. We're going to need our little finger to find 3 on the B. Now I know this is tricky for a lot of people, just do your best, see what you can do. If you can, leave this 3 down, it will sound better. It will just take a bit of training, I think. So again, we've got stacked numbers, so the 3 and the 0 are to be plucked together, and we're walking up towards your face. So E string, B string, G string, little finger on the 3, and then we're coming back to the A, and then the B, landing on the G. So again, it's a bar where the chord shape takes over most of the work, and you just have to remember to get that 3 down. It's mostly even as well, lots of quavers and 8th notes in this one. So coffee, 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 tea. Let's do that again. Pop it down, take it off. And don't worry, I recognise that's a lot to remember. Putting something down and taking it off is a lot. So let's do this a few times together. 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, into the next bar we've got a nice abstract G, so these guys are coming off, and again we're walking up towards our face, and again we're starting with stacked numbers, so the 3 and 0 are together, so the E and the B, G string, D string, get that 2 down on the G, bounce on the E, take it off, then come back to the D. Let's do it again. So towards your face, pop it down, E string, G string, D string. Okay, one more time, because I'm aware most people might find ring finger on 3 a bit weird. So let's do it. Okay, and then next bar, you're nearly there now, okay? So next bar is an abstract D, so you don't need the whole chord, just use the 2 on the G string. So we're going there, and we're going to play this 4, and I think you might like a little pull off there, it's quite fun. Don't worry if you don't want to, you can still just pluck a 0, that's fine. But for those who want to, a pull off is when you literally play a note and pull it off. So hopefully you can see I'm exaggerating, but basically it's all in the left hand. Yeah? It is a little bit of a flick, shall we say. Takes a little bit of work to not catch the string underneath it, but it's worth it. So this bar, G string, D string, pull it off, take the 2 off, come back to the 4. The 4 is long, which gives you a chance to look at the bar ahead. But let's do that again. So 2, 4, pull off, 0, 4. One more time. To a C. You can put the whole chord down if you're worried you're going to miss it, but you're mostly plucking your A string and your G string. And you hold that for 4 beats. That's nice and easy, isn't it? We like that. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm putting my chord down more out of habit, I'll be honest with you guys. You could quite easily just do it that way if you like, and that would set you up really nicely for the last bar, which is just the addition of a 3 on your B string. And again, because all of the numbers are stacked, they are to be played at the same time. use the C chord, use your little finger for the 3. And it's probably worth me saying, if you know C add 9, then by all means pop that chord down and give it a nice little pluck if you want to. Why not? So let's do this last line together, okay? So do you see I'm naturally going back into my C. I'll count you in. 1, 2, 3, 4. That was funny because I could feel my hand going, oh, do we want to go into a full C add 9? I couldn't decide. Lovely. All right, now let's see if we can go all the way through and then hopefully you can hear what it should sound like all together. 1, 2, 3, 4. So there you go, that's how I would pick the instrumental sections of Looking Forward. And then after that C add 9, you could go into either fingerpicking or strumming. Morning has come with the... and so on and so forth. So you can either do it that way or morning has come. So you've got options now, something to just make it a little bit more interesting for yourself. So I really hope you liked that, and I will pop the tab on my Patreon page. Thank you so much for watching, guys. See you in the next one. Bye!